Hello, thank you for stopping by. In today's tutorial, we are going to be going through the sewing part of this palazzo pant. We already have the cutting part in our previous tutorial, so if you are yet to see this, you want to go and see this, I'm going to leave a link in the comment section and also in the description box. So don't forget to like this video, click on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and let's go straight into this tutorial. So this is the front part of the palazzo pant. The first thing you are going to be doing is to join your darts. So we have two darts here and we are going to be joining each one. So I'm going to be pinning this together. You can see that I have the tip of my dart notched already. So now I'm going to be joining this dart in a straight manner. We're not going to be joining it the way we join our regular darts. It's not going to be V-shape, no. So I'm going to use my tape now and mark 2.5 inches. So that's the point where our dart is going to stop. And we are going to be joining the dart straight. It's not going to be bent. It's not going to form a V shape. It's going to be straight. And we are going to stop at that 2.5 inches mark. And I'm also going to be doing the same thing to the second part and to the second side of the front part of the palazzo. So this is it. I already stitched it. You can see the way I stitch it, that it is straight. I didn't stitch it in a V shape, not like the way we stitch our regular dart. So what we are going to be doing now is to top stitch on this dart, on each of these darts. So now I'm going to be flipping it to the right side, so we are going to be able to top stitch on it. So now on the wrong side, I'm going to flip the stitch to one side like this. I'm going to be flipping it towards the pocket side. So now I'm going to be top stitching on each of them. So when I top stitch on each of them, it's going to be the pleats at this front part is going to be facing the crotch area. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do the top stitch. So you can see I'm already done with the top stitching. You can see what it looks like. So these pleats, you can see that the pleats on the side actually face a side, like it's laying very flat. And now this front part also, the pleat is now facing the crotch area. And I've also done the same thing to the second side. So now this is the back part. We are going to be joining the darts. So we have two darts for this back part, and you are going to join each of these darts, but you are going to join this like your regular darts. So this is the front part. I'm going to be joining the crotch area together now. So I'm just going to go ahead and pin this together. Then on this crotch part, I'm going to be stitching it by 1/2 inch, but I'm not going to stitch it to the end. I'm going to leave about 1 inch before this at this crotch area. So I'm going to stop stitching it at this 1 inch mark, and I'm going to be stitching the rest with 1/2 inch. So this is the back part, and this is what the darts look like after stitching the darts. So I'm going to be placing the second part on it also, and I'm going to be pinning it together. So I'm also going to be joining the crotch area by 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to come up towards the zipper area by 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to be marking 1/2 inch for the rest of the crotch area. But just like I did to the front, I'm not going to stitch it to the end. I'm going to stop about 1 inch before the end. So I'm going to be stitching this part by 1/2 inch, and the remaining part at the upper part is going to serve as the zipper area. So this is the front part. The next thing you are going to be doing now is to fix the pocket. So now I have each piece of the pocket here. I'm going to be placing the one with the slant cut on the slant area of this pant trouser. So I'm going to make it to align this way, and I'm going to be pinning them together. So now I'm going to be stitching it together by 1/2 inch, and when I'm done, I'm going to flip it to the right and then top stitch on the pocket. So here I already top stitch on the pocket. So in case you don't know what top stitching is, this is what it is. You stitch on the inner part, the part that is like the facing or the lining, very close to the edge, so that the edge can relax. So as you can see, the pocket is really relaxing, and the rough edge, the inner part, you are going to make sure that it is flipped towards the side where you are going to be stitching on. So that way the edge of where you are stitching is going to be very relaxed. Next, we are going to be placing the second part of the pocket. So this second part of the pocket, you're also going to take note of the straight part and the pants that is slanty. So I'm going to place the trouser on the wrong side like this, and then this is the straight part, so it's going to be facing the straight part of the first one, and this slanty part is going to be on the side. So now you are going to pin this together and you are going to be stitching it all around. So I'm going to be stitching it all around from here to here, and I'm going to be stopping here. So I'm going to start stitching it from here to this side and then to the upper part. So I'm going to go over to my machine and stitch it now. So I'm already done stitching it, and the next thing is to close this upper part. The upper part of this pocket, you are going to be stitching it to the waistline here. And I'm going to be doing the same thing to the second part of this trouser. After fixing the pockets, we are now going to be joining the front part to the back part. So this is the back part. I'm going to be placing the front part on it, and we are going to be joining the front to the back. So to join this, we are going to be joining each leg. We are going to be joining one leg and the other leg. So to do this, we are going to open at this crotch area this way, and we are going to be pinning the front part to the back part of one leg, and the other side also we are going to be joining it at the side too. So this way we are going to be joining one leg before we join the other leg. I'm going to be joining the sides also. I'm going to be pinning them together, then I'm going to be stitching it by 1/2 inch on both sides. So this way I will join one leg, and I'm also going to be doing the same thing to the second part so that I can join the second leg also. So this is it. I'm already done joining each leg. So remember that the crotch area we left some parts open, like we left about 1 inch at the front and the back. So that is where we are going to be joining now. So to do that, we are going to open this part up like this, and then we are now going to be stitching from the front to the back. So this way, if we should stitch it this way, it's going to make the crotch area very relaxed, and we are going to be able to open this part up and iron it well. So this is how the trouser looks so far. The next thing we are going to do is to fix the band. So to do that, I'm going to be measuring around the waist area so as to know what to use for my band. And you can see this inner part that we have a lot of rough edges here because this material is threading. So I'm going to be making an interlocking on it, or if it's serging that or whipping. So I'm going to be doing that all around. So now I'm going to measure my waist all around. So here I have 28 inches for my waistline here, and I'm going to be adding 1 inch to that, so that's going to make 29 inches. So here I've cut out the band. The length is 29 inches and the wideness, which is the width, is 2 inches. Remember I said that is going to be 1.5 inches, but now I added 1/2 inch so that can serve as the stitching allowance to stitch the band to the waist. And I've also gone ahead to add an interfacing to one side of my band. So what I'm going to be doing now is to close this band on each side by 1/2 inch. The 1 inch extra that I added to the band length is what I'm going to be using to stitch it together. So I've already stitched it together, and I've also top stitched on the band. So now I'm going to be placing this band. I'm going to be stitching it to the waistline all around. So I'm going to be placing it on the right side, and then I'm going to be stitching on the wrong side. So I'm stitching it this way because I don't want any stitch to show on the right side. I don't want any top stitch to show there. There are other methods to stitch the band aside from this way. That's a stitch in the ditch method. If you use that method also, there's not going to be any top stitch showing on the right side if you stitch it well. So but this is the easiest method I know. So when I'm done stitching this all around, this rough edge I'm going to interlock it or siege it, or you can also use a bias tape to conceal these rough edges. So I'm just going to go ahead and stitch it all around the waistline. So this is the trouser so far. The next thing you are going to be doing is to fix your zip. and I've gone ahead to iron my zipper allowance. And this all lower part also, I've also gone ahead to hem it. I pin it down by 2 inches because we are going to be hemming 2 inches. So what I'm going to be doing now is to fold in half of an inch this way, and I'm going to be stitching it all around, and I'll do the same thing to the second side also. And that will be all for our trouser. So this is the result of our palazzo pant trouser. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, give your comments, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.